welcome or welcome back. We are doing yet another island entrance theme today. As you can tell, I already kind of got it started on this build. We're working on a tropical island entrance, which I think is so fitting because there's a huge heat wave hitting the Midwest right now, and it is like literally 100 degrees outside. So I feel like I'm living in a tropical place, even though I am certainly not. But yeah, I did kind of get a head start on the entrance for this build, which I'm so sorry. I totally thought I was recording and it turns out I wasn't, and I just didn't have the heart to delete it all and try again. So you're getting this slightly disjointed intro from me today. Please accept my most sincere apologies for my forgetfulness. But we're starting off with just a couple little areas to the left and the right of the airport, and then there's going to be this big bridge that I want to have like a huge water feature and like viewing area with like some fossils and butterflies and things like that. And I think it's really going to look super tropical in the end. I had so much fun with this one. I've never tried this theme before. I feel like this entire series of trying island entrances has just been an experience in stepping out of my comfort zone a little bit, just because I tend to stick to the forest core, cottage core style of decorating in this game. And even though I really love it and I'm honestly feeling very excited to get back to doing an entire island again, it's been really nice to be able to try out different themes without having to commit to doing an entire island in them, because I feel like that is extra intimidating. So if you're looking to cure your Animal Crossing burn-in, I highly recommend giving this little series a try if you want to try out some different themes and, you know, see which one works for you. But as you can see, we have like a little bridge there with a bench at the very end of it, and then that's going to lead us to this big cliff water feature type of thing. So I just started off by building up a really big cliff area. You can be kind of lazy with this because I'm not going to be decorating the back side of it, so I don't even care what it looks like. It's like when you do your hair, you don't even care what the back of your hair looks like. It's not my problem, right? It's kind of like that. So then we picked out this little stego to put in the like main area. This is gonna be like the main feature. I feel like for whatever reason, the giant dinosaur fossils give Tropicore vibes for me. I guess it doesn't really make sense now that I think about it, but I don't know. I think it works. Let me know if you agree or disagree in the comments below. But as you can see, I'm just checking the view from that bench spot, and I'm playing around with making sure that things that I want to be like closer up are kind of in the right position. I feel like there's no better way to do that than to just like pick your focal point and then check it frequently throughout the build. So that's what I'm doing. And then I hate when the cliffs look really straight across like that, so I'm just building up the outer sides just so that I can make them look a little bit more natural, I guess. And then I do end up having to pull that fossil forward just a tiny little bit because I just felt like it was too far back in the main view spot. So I pulled that forward, and then I'm just kind of replacing down a few like bushes and flowers and things. I also really want there to be water in this area, so I'm trying to figure out like where the water is gonna actually go. It just sort of ends up working out in the end. I don't really know. I had like no plan for this area at all, just like a general vibe that I wanted to go for. So I'm just trying to see how everything fits together in this space, and of course rounding out all of the corners, because it absolutely drives me nuts to leave the rectangular edges on things. I just think it looks so terrible. So I have to make sure that it spaces out in such a way where everything can be nice and rounded and symmetrical, and chef's kiss, we love it. So I'm building up the second layer here, keeping in mind that it needs to be at least 3 tiles wide in order for me to fit any sort of trees and things like that, bigger items. And I do want to make sure that we have those, because I feel like it's going to give a really nice background to that main fossil. So I get started just adding in the water. I feel like it's so much easier to add the water in and then to add the trees in afterwards, because I just feel like adding the trees in is so awkward and you never know how they're gonna fit. So I just try to get all the terraforming done first, and then I just piece it all together from there. Just trying to make the areas connect now, because I just think it looks so much more natural, and I don't know, I just like the effect that it gives. So we're gonna try to connect those areas. I really hate that little corner there that I had to leave rectangular, but ultimately there's nothing I could do about it, so I just had to live with it. And then for the area that's in front of the bridge, I don't even know if it's really a bridge because it's not really going anywhere. It's kind of just like an overlook. So for the area in front of the overlook, I'm just gonna add in a ton of water, and I think I'm going to end up putting like some butterflies in the just to kind of like bring in a more natural look. And honestly, this area was the easiest of the entire build because it almost doesn't really matter because we're not doing a whole island in this theme. It doesn't really matter like how finished it looks on the sides because you kind of can't even see it from the main like focal point anyway. I just wanted it to look a little bit more finished in the end. So I feel like I did probably more than what I needed to do, but I don't know. I don't know, I'm an overachiever, what can I say? So for this area in the front, I wanted there to be some spaces that are left grassy, but I want most of it to be water, so I'm just kind of playing around with what size I want to keep the grassy area in. But there's not a lot of space here, as you can tell, so I kind of had to mess with it just a couple of times. I do end up making it a little bit smaller, which is not a big deal at all. And then I'm going to figure out where I want the butterfly models to go, and I want to kind of stagger them a little bit because I think that looks better in the end. So I'm just playing around with where I think they would be best placed, and yeah, just deleting everything else around it. I feel like these kinds of builds are sometimes so awkward because you just have no space to move around like at all. You're just playing around with like two tiles, but as you can see, I did place the butterflies there. I think they look so cute, and I'm gonna end up doing one more off to the side. I was trying to pick a lot of different colors because I want this build to be super colorful. I'm using really bright flowers that I don't typically use when I'm building. So I don't know, there's just something so freeing about doing these entrances and getting to pick different items and colors and combinations of things that I just don't typically do. I will say though, I am probably nearing the end of this island entrances theme that we've been working on for the past couple of months. I really have loved it so much, but I'm kind of feeling like I want to get back to working on an actual dream address release again. I am thinking about doing cottagecore again. Don't hate me, it's just my favorite theme and I love decorating in that style so much. But I think I'm going to probably do maybe one more island entrance and then go back to decorating in a regular island kind of style. I do want it to be sort of like grandmacore, meadowcore inspired, and have there be like tons of beautiful flower fields and like farmers markety types of vibes. We'll see how it all comes together. I've already started to save a few codes that I really like, so I'm getting really excited to start working on a full island again. I really wanted to place an evergreen ash here, but it just didn't want to fit. She just didn't want to go. I don't know. I was really trying. Like, I took it off camera because I literally tried to place that like 8 times before I finally just gave up and put a bunch of flowers here instead. See, look at that. And imagine all of the tries that I cut out of this footage. Sometimes you just have to give up, okay? And this was definitely one of those times for me. I feel like that's a little embarrassing. But to be honest, you can't even really see this area from the front, so I probably could have left it mostly blank and just called it a day. But to be honest, we're actually almost done with this build, which is a little bit crazy. I just have a little space to fill out on this side, and then I have the cliff area. This build came together so quickly, and we managed to get it done in one stream, which is really weird for me because it usually takes me several days to complete a build, and I almost never complete a full build in one stream. Which brings me to my next announcement. I've been streaming again, and I'm having so much fun reconnecting with everybody over on Twitch. So if you've missed my YouTube streams, I know it's been a little over a year since I've done any streaming on YouTube, and some of you might be newer subscribers, so you may not have even been around when I was streaming on YouTube, but I've since moved that platform over to Twitch, and I'm really loving it over there. We've got such a nice cozy vibe going on, and if you're somebody who likes watching that type of content, definitely feel free to follow me over there so you'll get notified when I'm going live. Right now the schedule is Wednesday evenings and Sunday afternoons, so if you are looking for some cozy, relaxing vibes, definitely drop me a follow over there. I would love to have you in our little cozy streams. I'm also thinking about doing some like co-working streams soon. Somebody who like benefits from body doubling a lot, and I know a lot of other people do as well, so I'd love to do some like video editing with you guys over there, or like journaling, planning, that kind of stuff. So if that's something that you would be interested in doing, definitely pop on over there. I've also been doing a ton of cozy crafting lately. I've been super into like putting Legos together, journaling. I've been coloring a bunch. I recently got the Bobby Goods coloring book and I have been loving it so much. It's so freaking cute. I highly recommend picking it up. I honestly didn't think that I would enjoy coloring so much as an older person, but it's just so relaxing. It just feels like a very low-key kind of like creative thing to do. So I've been really enjoying that and doing a little bit of like paint by numbers style of painting. I'm not a very naturally like artistic person, so I feel like that's a pretty attainable style of painting for me. So if those are kinds of things that you'd be interested in, I think we may be doing some like hobby streams and things like that over on Twitch as well. So I'm just placing the finishing touches in here a little bit for this upper level. You can't really see it from the overlook or bridge kind of area, but it just kind of gives this like finished look to the entire build, and it gives it like a very nice background. So I'm not worrying too much about like what items I use or where they're at, like not really stressing out about that, just trying to make it look full and finished and to give like kind of a nice background. One thing I will say is I never use the bamboo at all when I'm decorating, and I forgot how much I love those like medium stalks or like the medium growth height for the bamboo. I think it's so cute, and I feel like it would look absolutely perfect on like a forest core island. Like there's something about that height that just looks so natural and pretty to me, and I always forget about it. I always forget to use it. So maybe I will end up incorporating that in a few areas on whatever island I start. But we time traveled to a more sunnier day, and this is what we ended up with. I'm so happy with how it turned out. I think it looks so bright and colorful and just very different from any build that I've really ever done before on this channel. So definitely let me know what you think in the comments below, and thank you for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. Bye!